There we go. I think I'm live. Let us see if that in fact is the case. Us see. Yeah, there we go. I'll put that on quiet. So we got that. And we'll go over there. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Hangout, to our Hangout here with yours truly. So it should be good. I'm excited to be able to share some things with you here, and we'll just go from there. So if you are, I am sort of running solo here. I've got two. Some of you would be really proud of me if you if you knew me, that my technology skills are a little bit a little bit to be desired. So I actually have two computers going side by side, one right here in front of me where I'm talking to you, but then there's another one over here where I believe that if you want to, in the room that you're in, you can say something on the bottom right-hand side of the screen, you guys. I think you can say, I'm just going to put hello right there, and then I'll just do that. And you guys can ask questions there. I think I can scroll up and down there. Yeah, look at that. There's already people saying hey and hello and how are you? You on? Okay, all good. So that's how we'll do this. So we'll just get going here in a couple minutes. Yeah, it's a little shy of the top of the hour. Letting people to jump on to be able to have a little bit of fun having me explain what it is I experienced anyway with a handful of people out at the corporate office in Salt Lake City. It was really off the hook cool. So I'm excited to be able to share that with you. And then this will go live. So some of you will be watching this via replay and things like that. I'll keep it up so that you can come back and replay it if you need to and get any other additional information. So anyway, with that, I think that'll be the best way to be able to do this. My phone, I don't want to install that yet. I'll do that later. Remind me later. So, oh yeah, wow, look at all that. This is great. We got a bunch of people over there. Now this is going to show my age a bit because I cannot read the screen without my glasses. It's just terrible. So yeah, we got a bunch of people saying hello on your phone. It's all the way at the bottom. I got it. Okay. Thanks for all you're doing. Yep. Cool. Good. It's kind of see the dashboard. Then the game results. What each player does. Okay. Cool. Yeah. What kind of stats we will see. Okay. Good. There's questions and stuff like that. So I'll get to all those in just a second. I'll get to all those in just a little bit. So. Yeah, another minute yet. Sorry. We'll get it going. So welcome everybody. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you taking the time. And I can't wait to go through this with you. Just how much fun it was. I am just more convinced than ever that we've got something that is just crazy special. So got a chance to do something great with it. And many of you who are here with me on a regular basis, you're checking in, you're making sure that all the things you're doing are you're keeping up to date and all that. I think you're going to be in the best position that anybody could possibly be. So I'm going to share that with you, and we'll get it moving here a little bit in just another 1 minute. So just give me one more minute, and then we'll get started. And again, I don't know. I just got a little list of things I want to walk through with you because it was such a neat time on Monday out at Salt Lake City and the ability to go through and play the game. Even on a Monday night game where I really didn't have a horse in the race. As you can tell, my Packers. Although, man, it's been difficult to wear the shirt lately. We have struggled in a big way. And I know my Bear fans, David out in Arizona, Bobby down in Florida, are probably fired up for the anyway, the struggles that we're experiencing, but it is what it is. That's what it's all about, man. So yeah. All right. We are right about that time. So I'm just going to say hello, welcome. Thank you. We got a whole bunch of people watching now, which is great. So let's just go through this. I really wanted to just turn on the camera and talk to you and tell you what my experience was. Because for so long we've been talking about the idea and the concept of this app coming first time availability to play live interactively with your favorite sports teams. You know, we've all talked about it and shared it. And, you know, the naysayers would tell us that, oh, you know, it's not going to happen, or those things never get off the ground, or there is, you know, why can't we see this, or why can't we see that? And we've got the unique opportunity to be invited. There was probably, I'm thinking somewhere around 35, 40, maybe 50 people out in Salt Lake City. We went to Natalie Lewis's home, which is beautiful. She was very gracious and kind, opened up her beautiful home to us. We had a chance to be able to come in together, sit there together, and just hear the vision of what it is that they want to do. Jeff Henderson was there, the owner of the founder of the company. All the tech guys were there. A lot of the support people that we chat with on support and everything. We got a chance to put a name to a face. We were introduced to Mason and Corey, and, you know, Jamie was there, and, you know, Brian from compliance, and just everybody. It was really neat. Brennan from MVP and stuff like that. So it was an absolutely awesome time. And we, first of all, had a chance really to get together and have Natalie go through a hello with us. And I thought it was important that maybe tonight, as I share this with you, how we got into the game and what the expectations were set for us. And then the actual event itself, you know, the playing of the game, which was so cool. So we get there, beautiful home and all that stuff. We got a chance to say hi to people from all over the country. Again, 35, 40, 50 of us maybe, from different walks of life, and all relatively successful, I guess, in some form or fashion with United Games and in other areas of life. And so we were all fully invested. Obviously, they didn't give us tickets to go out there. We were fortunate enough to get an invitation, and we had to pay our own way to get there. There was no special deals, anything like that. It was, you know, it was just an invitation that some of us, at least for myself, was important to be able to take advantage of if I could. And so I always like to say, you know, it was a $600 plane ticket, a $80 Uber ride, a $100 hotel room, and then the experience was priceless. I mean, that's really what, at the end of the day, what it was. So, and so I was really impressed with the way that it started out. We had a chance to say hi to everybody. Natalie said hi to us, and the first thing she said, I wrote it down. She said, you know, here's the thing I want to tell you about, and what today's all about. And she said, it really comes down to one thing, and it comes down to trust. And I have spoken on the subject a number of times to a number of different people all over the world, actually. And it just, I wrote these down, not that any of us would say them any different way, but she said, you know, the opportunity here is for us to understand that people don't trust words, you know, they trust actions. And it was really important for the folks at United Games to bring, or at least have the opportunity for us to come out and see the actual action of the app in place and in play. And, you know, it takes you oftentimes years to earn trust, and only just a little bit of time to make it all go away. Okay. And it was a cornerstone to sort of the thought process that Natalie had with us. And the other thing that she said is that she had made mention that we are going to be, this is the group, right? That we are partners. We are owners of the license. We are the franchisees. We are the, you know, we are the trusted few as a collective group. That's why they went to the marketplace and said, listen, you can call us what you want, but we are not going to be the traditional network marketing, multi-level marketing type environment, because we are not going to keep that open. We are going to have a finite group of people that we're going to engage in the process. We're going to call them partners, and we're going to go into battle together. We're going to have some fun together. We're going to go make our mark together. And the really neat thing for all of us was that we were a part of that, and now you are a part of it. The opportunity for you and I to participate in this it should not be taken lightly. You know, there are what are there 7 billion people in the world or whatever, and yet 250,000 people, and you're one of them, was offered the opportunity to become an affiliate, and we did. And you and I both know that a great number of our affiliates that are in today are not going to stay as affiliates. We know that. For whatever reason, they're going to make, again, my humble opinion, the absolute worst decision they could possibly make. And that's not to pay any attention to what it is we're doing, or to pay so little attention that they simply just become a player. And we all know that. So the fact that you are not only, one of the select few in the world that even know this is coming, it's even a smaller group of those of you who are willing to get on and jump on and watch a video of something that you probably already know most about. I mean, we've talked about it for the last 3 or 4 months. And so, you're in an elite category, and we've got something crazy special. So that set the stage for the day. We talked about tokens. We talked about sharing those tokens, about the ability to purchase them. We talked about different subscription processes that they're going to have available, how we get tokens, how we set up leagues, what the support mechanism is on all this stuff. We walk through the absolute monster. I mean, I've talked to some of you about this, right? The absolute monster of a platform this creates from an advertising perspective. I think we have one. I think we will be creating. We're in the midst of creating one of the largest, most successful advertising media plays that has ever been created, unrivaled in a lot of different ways. I think it has that kind of potential. She talked about those things, about the national interest that there is from advertisers to be able to be a part of us. We don't have a game yet. We walked through all that stuff. She talked to us about the future, the different opportunities that we have as affiliates and partners to be able to do something that is unprecedented in the industry together, and gave us some specifics, how to do some leagues, how to do some games, things like that. And then she had asked us politely to say, I need to trust you that you're not going to go out there and try to give that information in detail to everybody that you talk to. And we all raised our hand and said, yeah, it's not appropriate, because it doesn't necessarily come to make sense and to come into vision without what it is we're seeing here. And what it is we're seeing here, it is not yet available to the masses. So she said they were going to work on some things, deliver those types of information pieces to all of us, that we would all be, aha. And when you see it, you guys, I would just tell you this. When you see it, you'll go, oh man, yeah, I get it. I get it. That makes sense. That part together with that part, that's how well that's going to play out. Those are the things. And it's just big. And I know that some of you have people in your groups who have wondered why it is you're so excited. Okay. I know I've got a lot of people in my life circle go, why are you so excited? I mean, about what it is that's going on here. And I simply say, I've seen this before. I know how this movie is going to end, and it's going to be a big deal. Now, not everybody's going to see it that way, and not everybody's going to participate, but it does not mean that it's not going to be a big deal. So that's why I'm excited. I know many of you are too. And so what I'm going to ask of you, okay, is to understand and trust that, in fact, these pieces are going to be coming out over the next, we've probably got 14 days yet. It's the 9th today. We've probably got 13, 14 days here before, obviously, whatever that is, 15 days before the 24th, and then we can play. But there's going to be some strategic releases of some information that will allow us to understand better how to create leagues, what the token play is going to be, what the subscription pieces are going to be, and all that stuff about where we're going as we go into the future. So just hang tight, be with it. I know that we've waited this long, we've trusted this long. Everything they said they were going to do, they have done, they've delivered. And if they didn't deliver, like all of us thought was going to be an October delivery of the app, turned into be a Thanksgiving release. And what we saw the other night in play was absolutely a no-brainer. Every single person, when they get the app on the play the game on the 24th of November and things, you will sit there and go, I get it. I understand why we didn't have this 3 weeks ago. And again, we were a victim a bit of our own success, our own size, our own excitement, and all that stuff. So all that stuff's coming. I wanted to say that to you to let you know that I'm not going to break any new news here. I'm not going to give you any details because I don't want to be benched. Natalie's is a tough cookie. She has told us that, listen, this is what we need to do. We need to work together and trust each other and just, in that fashion. I'm going to probably skip over maybe some detailed questions that maybe I think I might know the answer to, but quite honestly, there are some things that we didn't and weren't told because they are either one or the other, and it's just a simple click of the button, you know, to be able to have that available for us. And that's the way the game's going to go. Still doing some A/B testing. Got some great feedback from us that played the game the other night. Going to get some more next week. Going to go out on the road next week to be able to go to many different cities across the country to be able to share the idea with many different people in many different parts. So we are right going into the launch of this, and it's going to get exciting. So anyway, all that said, to say that I'm not going to give you any great details, except for she gave us complete freedom to give you our viewpoint, our take, our experience of the actual game itself, okay? So I'm going to take a couple minutes and sort of walk you through at least what I felt and what I was thinking and what I observed and, you know, what was going on in my head anyway while this was all taking place, so that you can get a feel for it, for what it's worth, right? And again, I thought it would be a good idea to be able to at least give that to you so that as you go out there, it can help. So anyway, overall viewpoint, absolutely awesome. Everything. Listen, I wrote it in a little letter. I told you guys on a video, email and things, on little note on Facebook and stuff. It was an off the chart experience for me. It was really, really cool. I had certain expectations, pretty high expectations actually, around what it was I thought the game was going to become. I've shared how it is that, in fact, I've been told the game is going to look like. We've been told the game's going to look like. We got a chance to be able to see the screenshots in Las Vegas a couple of months ago. So we sort of understood that when we get it, you know, you're going to see it. I will tell you how the game was set up. They had two great big screens in the front of the party barn. Natalie has a great little, probably, I don't know, 24 by 36, maybe 24 by 36, like a party barn. It's awesome on her property. Her property has her house and everything in the backyard has some basketball hoops and tennis court in the back and stuff. And obviously she's very successful in her life and things like that. So, but she's also a sports nut. You can sort of tell. There's a party barn in the back where we all sat. They had two big screen TVs up. One had the game on it, and one had the leaderboard of all the people that were playing in that game that night. Okay, so the game was going to be Seattle and the Buffalo Bills. And so obviously I did not have a team in the race. So I was interested. I'm a football nut, so I love to watch football, even if the Packers aren't playing. But this game didn't have any greater particular interest to me than any other when my favorite team's not playing. And so it was, I was really excited to be able to play the game along with it. And so it was all set up. What they did is they did not give it to us on our phones. Many of you have asked me, hey, can you send me a screenshot? And the answer to that is no, because none of us actually we got all of our phones confiscated before we went into the party barn. And we had to go and do that. And then we'd swear ourselves to secrecy about a bunch of different things. So we didn't do any of that stuff. And so there was about, I would say, probably 6, 7, 8 groups that we were divided into, each team, with about 6 or 7 people in it. Probably 4 or 5 or 6 people in each one. And then some extra people around with phones. Like all the corporate people had their phones, and it was already on their phone, and they were playing it. And Ben Agate, the designer of the whole entire deal, at least the chief technology officer, Mark Manji was not there. He had his head buried in the deal and was going and doing some different programming and user interface pieces. But Ben was there, and so we set it up. So you can imagine we've got this party barn. We got 5, 6, or 7 groups involved, and we're all watching the screen, and we go through the pregame picks. And on the phone, one of the things that I recognized is that the screen look, feel, image, and stuff like that, we thought was very impressive in Las Vegas. It actually looked cleaner, neater, and simpler here, and just as cool. And actually really a little bit cooler because the FIREFAN logo was involved, and they had a couple of little fire things and stuff like that I don't know, was really, captured my attention anyway. And I probably had more, I get it. We probably have more interest than most, right, about how it is this looks and feels, because we're trying to envision ourselves earning an income from this, from people playing and having fun and things like that. So I wanted it to look good, and it did. It was really cool right off the bat. And you go through your pregame picks just like we've explained. So you go through and you have a bunch of series of picks, and you're going through and thinking about it. And what it does is as you're picking those, as you're choosing those, it starts to make you think, you really don't know how this is going to play out. And if, in fact, one of these teams was my favorite team, I know this, I would have hit the buttons with my heart, not my head. All right. So I was in the midst of going through the process of saying, okay, yeah, I think they'll do this. And we had a little group get together and we did that. And then the game got started. So we had, we locked it all in. Different teams are playing in different areas. And here's the interesting thing. You could get started late and not actually have all the picks done. And if you didn't get all your picks done, which a couple of phones I don't think did actually, because they got in late, we were all chatting in different parts of the yard, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, it's almost game time, hurry up. So we came in, it was pretty interesting, got right into the flow of the game. It wasn't like you would have missed anything, or if you had missed the very beginning, you would be out. I believe you could join this game anytime you wanted to, okay, and just for as long as you wanted to, really. Okay, and at $1.20 at 12 tokens, nobody's gonna think, you guys, nobody's gonna think twice about it. Trust me, the experience that they have is off the hook cool. Okay, so anyway, so we get all those in there, and then what happens is there's a change of possession or whatever, and right on the phone it has a nice area that says new choice or predictions await or are waiting. So you just hit the button. And then it comes up and it asks you a series of 4 questions, like how's this drive going to end? And then you got to decide. And again, we've seen the screenshots of this, and it's exactly that. So you hit the button and say it's going to end. I'm going to say it's going to end in a touchdown, right? And so all of a sudden you go and it says, oh, will there be a pass of over 20 yards to a wide receiver? Will there be a pass of over 20 yards? Yes. Okay, well, maybe another one is there going to be a run for a loss? Will the running back be tackled for a loss during this drive? And you're like, well, probably not. And then is there going to be at least a 10-yard pass to a tight end? And you're like, sure, right? And so all of a sudden you go through those 4 or 5 things and you hit them, and you better hurry up because the game's going on. Right? All of a sudden the game is happening and you're like, oh, okay, got it. And so boom. So you're there. Now, if you get through 3 or 4, if you get through 2 or 3 questions, you don't get to the 4, you don't get that. Obviously you don't get to answer the 3rd and 4th one, but you get credit for the first 2. See if you get them right. Okay. And I got to tell you, it's a little harder to get things right than you think it is. So we're watching the game and all of a sudden it dawns on, we're a little bit all just seeing the app for the very first time. So we want to look at it. Okay, we want to get involved and stuff like that. So all of a sudden, we see the play on TV, and boom, all of a sudden, the play that just went on, like an incomplete pass to Jimmy Graham, okay, Russell Wilson, incomplete to Jimmy Graham. Well, that feed hits your phone, and it tells you that 1st and 10 was incomplete pass from Russell Wilson, 2nd and 10. So you're like, oh, yeah, I just saw that. Okay, it hit my phone, so it tells me. So there's an actual game feed of every play that's going on in the game coming on your phone. Just like I've seen that before with an ESPN app. If I'm somewhere and I just want to get the live feed for it, NBA does that. The Major League Baseball does that. Well, our app does that. It gives you that. It gives you that feed. And so you're looking at it going, well, I could know exactly what's going on without ever having the television on. I could know exactly what's going on by the feed of my phone. No doubt about it. Okay. That it's just, I don't know, that just something that was like, oh, that's really cool. Then there's statistics that are happening. You know what 2nd down and 3rd down is. Now, if all of a sudden 2nd down happens and it's, 2-yard gain, Russell Wilson down the right side. Okay. Now it's 3rd and 8. Well, I can't remember and I can go back to my picks and see real quick. Oh yeah, I said I need a 10-yard pass to a wide receiver, okay, or a 20-yard pass. All of a sudden, Russell Wilson goes back and throws a bomb down the center, okay, and the guy goes to catch it, and the room goes crazy. He didn't score, okay, but half the room goes crazy, and the other half are like, oh, why? It said that there would not be a pass over, okay, and therefore they didn't get points. It was really an interesting scenario where, in fact, where in fact there was a 1-yard tackle for a loss. I remember this. It was very defining. There was a 1-yard tackle for a loss of a running back on one play, a very indescript play. It was a run down over the left side, and the running back got, tackled for a 1-yard loss, and half of the room just exploded in excitement. And you thought right there, you're going, wow, that's really interesting. That was just a nothing play, and people are getting excited about that particular play because they obviously got points for that, right? And they were trying to beat each other. So as you can imagine then, that process went on. Now, that whole thing, I got to tell you, just on an overall viewpoint, you guys, that was the fast. We played for the first half only, just to be able to get the feel, the look, and the, all that stuff. I will guarantee you something. It was the fastest. It was the fastest half of football I've ever watched. Period. End of story. No matter where I've ever been, that's exactly what I felt like. It was like, it's over already. Wow. And at the end there, I don't know if anybody watched the game, but at the end there of the first half, they were kicking a field goal, but then they got delay of game or something like that and moved the field goal back. So what was happening there is that, unbeknownst to everybody else in the world, at least inside the app asked us if that field goal was going to be, if you said, yes, I believe this is going to end in a field goal, which you probably would have because they only had about 35, 40 seconds left, right? So you said, yes, it's going to end in a field goal. Well, the next question was, is the field goal going to be longer, or is it going to be longer than 35 yards? And you're like, yes. Well, at the end there, what happened is that they kept going, and then they would pass the one mark where it was going to be a 31-yard field goal. Well, half the room is like, oh, no, it can't be, because remember, we only played a half, so this was ending the game. And people were freaking out because it was a 31-yard field goal, and they said it was going to be longer than 35, okay? And then there was a penalty, and it moved it from a 31-yard field goal to a 36-yard field goal, and half the room is going crazy. The other half is going, other side crazy. I guarantee you this, you guys. This game being played in a bar atmosphere, a sports bar area, a public facility, there will not be, trust me, there will not be one person who won't sit there and say, what are they doing? And I need to get that thing. What are they doing? Because we were all like, you guys, we were all so engrossed in all of the things that were going on while the referees were talking to one another, trying to figure out what went wrong, what was going on. We were all like, you got to be kidding me. What's happening? Oh, we said, yes. How do you guys do? What's the leaderboard look like? Oh, and it was at the very end, and people were pumping up, and the field goal, it actually missed, and that helped the one team come from behind. They got a 5-point steal victory, and they won prizes that they had in the room. I'm telling you, it is a grand slam home run for any kind of public facility that anybody is a part of. The sports bar arena, it's going to be a big deal. But it also is going to be a really cool environment for families and people that play one another, that because you can talk right inside of it. One of the things is you hit the button and it comes, and you can go to the smack talk area, right, where you're boasting and you're chatting with one another and stuff. There's also something else on there that was really neat that I didn't expect. I didn't know I didn't know anything like that existed. And what it was is a feed of pictures that are taken. I'm not sure where they're taken. I wasn't. I'm not sure if it was Associated Press or if it was NFL Films or what it was. There's a roll of sideline pictures that are taken, and it might be of a player tying his shoe. At the Green Bay game, there was some pictures of that squirrel that was in the end zone. Some other ones might be the coach going like this, in a still shot or whatever, right? And or maybe a fan wearing a crazy hat or whatever. And it scrolls. It just comes in. It's called Moments, I think, on the game. And it comes in, and there's talk around it. There's all kinds of conversation around it. There's explanations of it. And it comes on the app. It comes inside the game in the app. And you will find yourself. I found myself watching that because it was so intriguing. There were so many cool pictures that you didn't ever see anywhere else. You wouldn't see them anywhere else. And so you look at it and you go, oh, wow, that's really cool. And it might be somebody diving or somebody running or somebody hitting somebody or their eyes closed or whatever it might be. And just still frames of interesting things around that game, around that stadium. And then commentary about it and the ability to socialize around that feed was like eye-opening, going, wow, what a social monster we have in this phone. I know it's sort of Facebook for sports nuts or entertainment people, coupled with, the sports entertainment world. It's just massive. It talked to all of us, said just how big this platform is for us. People don't understand it. They don't realize it. I guarantee you there's a bunch of people out there going, why are you so excited about a stupid game? It's not. That's not what this is. It's so much bigger. It's so cool. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to download this game, who are going to enjoy it, and they are going to tell some people about it. It is not hard to do, you guys. I'm telling you, as excited as we all are, the night I checked into the hotel, I gave the guy who checked me in my link to go and get the app, because I said, oh man, you wouldn't believe it. We just got done playing. It was crazy. It was a beta test. It was awesome. I got the guy who picked me up in the morning to drive me back to the airport yesterday morning and things. That was such a no-brainer. It's like, oh man, he's a big NBA fan. He's from Croatia, blah, blah, blah. Right? So fans are going to do this. Fans are going to tell other people about it. There's no doubt about it. It's a viral monster here. So it's going to be fun. I don't know that there's anything else that I wanted to share with you other than my just enjoyment of the night. And Madeline said at the end of the night, she said, now let me ask you a question. So we were done with the game on the first half and everything. And she asked everybody, she goes, now let me ask you a question. Have you guys ever experienced that kind of involvement, that deep of an involvement in a game, or that much fun as a part of a game that more than likely most of you here do not have a team in this environment? And all of us unanimously simply said, wow, that is engaging. That is everything you would want it to be. And the technology was fast. It was clean. It was neat. It was easy. It was one-handed. I could navigate it. Listen, they came around and handed us some phones, so we just were to play with it. And so, you just sort of said, I wonder how long it's going to take me to get to understand the app. You guys, within probably 5 minutes of cruising around different things, it was so laid out so nicely, one-handed, right, that Mark always talks about. You got a chance to see virtually everything you would want to see. Scroll up and read different things and see different things. Go back. You could chat. You could communicate. And I got to tell you something. The other thing that is going to be a monster about this thing is our interaction with our celebrities, with our MVPs. The MVP portion of this, and I've read different weird comments from many different people, maybe not understanding. I shouldn't say weird, just they are mind-boggling a little bit to me, maybe, just because I think people aren't looking at this the way that I believe we should. You guys, you and I want as many celebrities as we can possibly get inside this game. We want as many VIP somebodies that we could possibly get. You will want to have the ability to offer to your players and their players to be able to go and play with a celebrity, to be able to have Manny Pacquiao say, hey, whatever, Kevin Garnett, talk smack to you. You will want to play with, because you'll get involvement. Madeline was talking to us about having played a beta game with a former football player, and the insight that former football player gave about the people that he was talking about. And he actually said, man, that guy didn't play like that when I played with him. Where else are you going to get that? Right? Where else are you going to get that kind of interaction, insight, thought, different ways? So the MVP side of this is huge. It will drive it will drive playing like crazy. And that's what we want, because not only do we get paid, we create an income when people play the tokens, they got to acquire them somewhere. And we get a chance to participate on both sides, and it will become very clear and very exciting around that. So that was my take. I am more convinced than ever that we have one of the big, I believe in my heart, no doubt about it, that this app will be downloaded 1 billion times around the world. None. Zero. Now, I am not saying that we're going to have 1 billion people playing every single game, every single time, blah, 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 right? And everybody's going to love it. And they're all going to, that is, ridiculous. Not everybody likes everything. I do know this, that there's going to be one heck of a lot of people who sit there and go, that's really neat. I should try that. That is really neat. I got to try that. And some of those that try, I believe there'll be 1 billion people someday that will be able to say, listen, we hit 1 billion people with this around the world, that it's been downloaded. And some of those people, I don't know what percentage, I have no idea. I'm not anything like that, but I know this. Some of those people are going to really, really enjoy it. And they're going to be like, this is cool. I don't know that I want to watch a game without it. That's why I love the idea of having it be just, $1.20. And then they have different other ideas that sit there and goes, and here's the idea. Here's the thought. We don't know exactly what people are willing to do. Would somebody pay a little bit more to play with an NFL football player? We think that they would. Would they be willing to pay a couple more tokens to be able to play with a childhood hero, right? That maybe is now a Hall of Famer that's retired. I don't have a clue, but obviously in my past, if all of a sudden a Brett Favre or somebody like that has a name would come in and say, hey, I'm hosting a game, and I could get his thought process around the game and he would engage in the idea of doing that, I would gladly pay. And he might set it up to be able to have, half the entry fee go to his foundation to take care of autistic kids or whatever the causes might be, or kids with cancer and childhood cancer and things. So I would do that in a heartbeat. So would a lot of other people, and all of us, because they're acquiring more tokens, it would be beneficial to all of us. So I just see it and say, listen, there are going to be a great number of people who actually love this game and who are going to play it, not only for football, but basketball and soccer. And here's the thing that they explained to us. Football is a pretty decently paced game. Soccer is a little bit slower, obviously, because you've got, maybe 1.3 goals scored in a 90-minute game. And it's not quite as defined or whatever. There's a definite, 45 minutes one time and one half and 45 minutes the next half. But there are different and multiple and statistical data that is gathered from a soccer game, and including, time that it takes to be able to answer a goal. There are corner passes and corner kicks, and where the ball is on the beginning part of the third, the middle third, or the back third of the field, and the time that the ball spends in each one of those. Those are all statistical data points that are covered in soccer. And so all of a sudden now soccer has, 30, 50, 60 decision points that the game could ask you about. And Madeline, knowing a lot more about soccer than ever I will, than I ever will be able to share with you, said it this way. She said, this game may do more for soccer than any other, game on the planet. And there's a lot of soccer fans that are going to have an enjoyable experience with this. So that's all coming out. They talked about some of those things. We'll get some announcements about here over the next couple of weeks. So I don't know. I hope you can feel my excitement. I know this. I guarantee you this right now. I would be in my pregame pit, even if I wasn't. I readily admit I'm excited, and a portion of it is because I believe that there's an income opportunity here for so many people to make a difference in their lives, and I'm excited about that. No doubt about it. But if there was no income, would I play as a player? And the answer is an absolute yes. Absolute yes. No doubt about it. I think you're going to see it proven again and again and again. I think you're going to have millions, hundreds of millions. I believe we're going to top 1 billion downloads in this. It's going to start from a very few select people, couple 100,000 people, maybe 150,000 people by the time it's all said and done. We're going to seed this, and there's going to be tens of millions, hundreds of millions of players? Do you know how many people, 3, 4, 500 million people is? Started from, 100,000 of us or so, right? It's just going to dwarf the size. Nobody's even going to know about you and me as United Games affiliates. It's all going to be about FIREFAN. It's all going to be about the fan. It's all going to be about players. It's all going to be about the game and how engaging it is. I guarantee you that's what's going to happen. I saw it for my own eyes the other night. Now, the exciting thing is we're just a couple of weeks away from having that proven out. And you got a very unique opportunity to be able to do this. So I'm excited. I don't know how else to put it. I'm going to go through some questions here. I was trying to figure out real quick before I go to questions and see if I can answer any of them without getting to any of the secrets that she didn't want us to share with anybody. This though, in case you guys want to take off here, and it's been 35 minutes of me rambling about how cool I think the game is, and I don't know if it helped or not, but I have a great deal of excitement to share it with you. But here's the thing: I tried to figure out how I could give you a story a little bit around the idea of just how successful this thing could be and what it is we have our hands on. And I came up with this real quick. Let me see if I can give you a little bit of an example, because all of us have read these stories. All right, we've all read the story of something like this happening. So I'm just going to ask you to use your imagination with me just a little bit. And let me tell you what I think we have here, okay? Let's say that you have a room in your house, a foyer in your home with a certain color paint, and you're looking for a picture. You want to get something that you can hang on that wall, okay? So you decide to go to the estate sale down the road, see if they have any pictures or paintings that might match the color of the walls that you have in your foyer. And sure enough, you go there and there's a really cool picture. There's a really neat picture. It looks good. You sort of like it. It seems to match the color. You sort of get excited to think, I wonder what I could get that for. It has a nice frame and everything on it. And you go to the owner of that or the holder of that estate sale, and the estate sale guy says, well, make me an offer. And I need to get rid of everything because, I'm having some tough financial challenges and problems and things like that. That's why we're having the sale. We've got to get out of our house. And you say, well, I don't know, I'll give you $100, for it. And the guy says, I've really got to sell everything and every dime counts. So yeah, go ahead and take it. And you pay him $100 for the picture, and you bring the painting home and you hang it up in your foyer. Looks good, matches. All right, it matches, it looks great. Then I come over. I'm going to come over, a week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, whatever it is. And I come over, you answer the door. And I come in and I look at you and say hello. And then my eyes are immediately drawn over your shoulder to that painting, to that picture. And I don't even look at you anymore. And I say, where'd you get that painting? And like, oh, I got it at the estate sales, got it for $100. And I'm not even listening now. Now I'm just sort of walking past you. And I push you out of the way, and I walk up to the picture. I walk up to the painting, and I said, where did you get it? And you tell me at an estate sale, and you proudly say you paid $100 for it. And I said, you paid $100 for this. And then I tell you that, do you know that this painting is an original? This is an original, and I'm going to share my lack of art knowledge, but it's an original Picasso, or it's an original, Rembrandt or something. And I say, it's worth millions, dude. It's worth millions. And your first thought is, no, it's not. I bought it at $100 down the street. And I go, I don't care what you think you bought it for or what that guy thought he had. I've been in this industry for decades. I know what I'm talking about. And this painting right here is an original, and it's worth millions if you get it in front of the right people. And you're thinking, dang, wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be cool if I paid $100 for the thing? And it just, are you kidding? No way. No way. Yeah. Now, here's the problem. It's really up to you to decide what it is you want to do. But here's the reality. If somebody comes up and tells you that they've been in an industry for a long time, that's their home, that's where they live, and they say, you have an original, and this is worth millions if you get it in front of the right people, you need to go try to get it in front of the right people. Right? You got to. Just give it a shot, because that's what we have here. This is a big deal. This is going to be something special. Now, understand, there are going to be people who are in financial challenges that don't have a clue what they have their hands on. And they're willing to give it away. They're willing to take their signature and go from an affiliate to a player. And turn around and not have a clue. They won't have a clue that they had an original Rembrandt or Picasso hanging on their wall at some point in time. They just knew they had financial difficulties. Seriously, for them, sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. That's just the way that works, okay? But you are blessed enough to have it in your possession. Because I would tell you one thing, I would walk out of there going, listen, whether you believe me or not does not change the value of that painting. I would do yourself a favor and I'd lock the doors that night. I wouldn't give that away. I'd keep it and I'd go get it appraised. I'd go check it out. I'd go get it in front of some people to see if I'm right. If I am, you did a good thing. That's what this is about. That's what I'm telling you. That's what this is about. I've seen this before. I've seen this play before. We got a chance to do that. Now, again, not everybody's going to do that. And you're going to have some people that are just, you know, they don't know what they don't know. Just don't let that be you, the 75 or whatever people that are watching now, 72, I guess. And anybody that's viewed this again, and there'll be, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, we've got thousands in our group. We've got tens of thousands in our group. We've got a couple thousand people of those that are willing to get on our email list and to watch this. And from that, you know, we've got hundreds that are willing to take the time to watch this, whether it's live or through replay. Okay. And so we recognize, I fully recognize that it goes down, but the very few people that are willing to go and do something with this is special, gang. This is going to be something spectacular. And we got a chance to do it. And it's just a couple of weeks away. That's the exciting part. We don't have to wait very long. It's here and it's coming to us the week of the 21st. So this is worth something. You got to get it out in front of people. Even if you do something once a day, just get one appraisal a day, right? I mean, just ask somebody to take a look. Ask somebody to take a look. Ask somebody to take a look. That's what this is all about. And everybody has got a phone, and for the most part, everybody's got an interest in sports in some form or fashion, or knows somebody that does. And if you'll take advantage of it, I just think it's going to be huge. And we got a chance to do that together. So with the last few minutes here, I'm going to just throw my glasses on, see if you guys have asked me anything that's worthy or my ability to answer, and we'll go from there. Hi, everybody. All right, on your phone, it's all the way at the bottom. Okay, Pat, thanks for doing it. Yep. I'm going to go through this and see if you're playing. Let me see how this all works. Okay. Okay. What kind of stats we will be able to see on the dashboard relating to the game results and what each player does? There's an unbelievable amounts of data feed that comes through this. You'll see virtually every play. And then at the end of the possession, it tells you how much you've done, how many points you have, and what it is that you've scored on your questions. And then you can go back through and take a look at your questions, which one you got right or wrong, drive 1, drive 2, drive 3. It all stays right in the game. So it all is available there. In fact, the next day you can go back and take a look at those pictures you didn't get a chance to be able to look at and see what different people were saying at different times and stuff. You can sort of recap the entire game. It is it's really cool. And so there's lots and lots of data information there. But it's designed, it's not overwhelming though, you guys. Even it's very well positioned. These guys really know what they're doing with regards to the look and the feel and the ease and just the, you know, the sense that it's not just totally just a big bunch of data dump on you. It really isn't. It was very easy to look at and see. So, all right. So there we go. Pack will win on Sunday. Hey, Bobby. Let's see. Can a player right now download my player code name phones on their phone to promote FIREFAN with me? All right, Tim. So can a player right now download my player code name on their phones to promote FIREFAN? Yeah, they can actually. You can just have them do it the exact same way that you would do it. They're just sharing your code. They're just sharing your number. And the people that use a code number are going to be able to receive those 12 tokens to be able to play live and interactively and stuff. So that'll be awesome. And so it's an absolute yes. Okay. Hi, Kathy. All right, cool, good. Yep, no worries. Pat emailed compliance, but I haven't received a response. I'm trying to get a fairly large company to touch with advertising on FIREFAN. Okay, any help? Got it. Yeah, just continue to go through that. Let me give you a scope and a scale of size here. I was talking to Brennan, you guys, and he's in charge of the MVP piece. He went to the Manny Pacquiao fight, was gone for 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, from his from the ability for him to check his email. He was just gone. And he came back in on Monday morning Okay. And before he came to see us Monday afternoon at Natalie's house, he had between Friday afternoon when he left work over the weekend, by the time he got back on Monday, he usually checks his emails on the weekend. He had 187 celebrity requests to follow up with. 187 over a weekend. And he said, that's why I have to do this every day. So the reality of saying, hey, I've sent this because a company's interested in doing something, advertising, whatever it might be, just give it enough time, gang, to understand this is no longer just a few of us. This is a big play. And virtually every major advertiser, they shared with us some advertising information that they asked us not to share with all of us as a group. It's the who's who of everybody. There isn't anybody untouched here. That's why I say this is a big deal. This is not just you and me thinking that it could be something cool, but there will be opportunities on a regional, on a national, regional, and localized level for advertising. It's one of the reasons why people are so excited about the platform, because it gives a tremendous opportunity of leverage for all advertisers. And the more advertisers we have inside the game, the better off it is for those who play, right? Because they're willing to do and provide different ideas and thoughts and concepts around us receiving what we want, which is game currency. And for the players want is game currency. We want currency, whether people pay for their tokens or whether they get them from advertising participation as affiliates, us little small group. We want that to happen, all the time. So, and that's that's happening. So just be patient, if you would, you guys. I think that'll be a help. There is another beta test coming. It was supposed to be the 14th. They're in another beta right now. We're going to get more information about that. It's supposed to come out by the end of the week here. There is some road rallies going on this next week all over the country. You can go into your back office. I think Natalie was going to come out with a movie tonight. She might have already tonight while I've been on this. I got an email shortly before I started this. And then she had also said this morning on our leaders call that she was going to do a video that will come out and explain some things. And there'll be a few more as we go and get moving into next week and things like that. So just be aware of that. Check your back office or your locker room. Sorry, your locker rooms to be able to find that. Hi, everybody. All right. So, yep, cool. If you're playing more than one contest on FIREFAN, it's the contest is the same game you're watching. Can you answer questions or use for all contests? Excuse me. You're in your game for that game. Okay. Can you play more than one game at a time? Yes. The reality is that the live action, I think you could probably do 2. I don't think you could do more than that. It just wouldn't. Your time would. I mean, it's not made up like that, right? So you might be able to toggle between 2 games, okay, at the same time if they were playing at the same time. I don't think you could do any more than that. So I'm not sure what the limitations of the game actually are, but your personal limitations are probably going to be, jumping up in front of that before the game limitations are. Okay. Set of answers, same question in each contest. Yeah, there'll be a bunch of different questions for each different contest. So there's a lot of people that or a series of questions that come from, one particular answer. So if you say, hey, there's I'm going to say this drive's going to end in a field goal. Well, the question might be, is it longer or shorter than 30 yards? It might be longer or shorter than 35 yards. It might be longer, whatever it might be. It's sort of the same scenario differently at different times of the game. So sometimes the same questions are really, they make a lot of sense that you would be asked them again. Now, they're not all the same. There's enough variance in there. But when you play it, you will notice that there is a consistency around the questions that in fact are about to unfold, because there's only so many certain scenarios in a game or in a situation based on the rules of that game or situation. Okay. Sort of makes sense. So it doesn't, it's not all over the place where you're like, oh my gosh, where did that come from, or left field, right? So there's some decent consistency that helps it. Okay. So yeah, all right, cool. Thank you. Definitely great stuff. Really exciting overall. Yep. 12 tokens. Bobby said, you mentioned what, do the 12 tokens take you throughout the entire game? I could have missed a part. Yes. Yes, it's not a partial. We just happen to play half of it, Bobby. Everybody. We just happen to play the first half. But the game is going to be $1.20 for the game. At least that's what it is right now, anyway. And Madeline did say everything's open for change or variance at some point in time. But as we speak right now, that's how that's going to play out. There can be different values to different games depending on who's playing and what other things. They've also are in the continual process of saying, hey, you know what would be really neat right now? You have the ability to create a picture of yourself that lets everybody know when you are at the leaderboard or whatever. There could be some really cool emojis, right, that come out and might be whatever. Okay, it could be a number of different things. And the question becomes, or avatars or whatever they're called. And the question becomes then, you guys, are people willing to pay for those? And the answer in all the other games is absolutely. You know, it might be 30 cents, it might be 3 tokens, it might be 5 tokens. It might be that they invite 2 people and get a free avatar, whatever it might be. But people are willing to do that because that's part of the, part of the recognition, part of the fun, part of the intrigue of the game. So yeah, that'll get you through the whole game. Let's see. I have a question that's put up on your TV. Wait, I have a question. Can this be put up on your TV? Yeah, it's called Apple TV. Right? It's an Apple phone. You just hook it up to your Apple TV. You can go ahead and play it right on see your Apple TV. So that's how they put that. That's how they put the screenshot of and again, that's not United Games. That's Apple. I mean, yeah. Can I show you my screen on my phone right here on my TV in my room? Yeah. How? Apple TV. I don't know. I just find it. My girls do it easily, and it takes me a little longer. But yeah, I can show it to you. And then they just put I can see the bars. Listen, I can see the sports bars putting up the leaderboard easily, right? And then having to scroll down it and say, hey, who's going to do this or who's going to do that? The winner is whatever. So, okay, cool. So 12 tokens. I have a question. Damn, I'm so excited. Yeah, it's going to be. I know, Zoe. I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. All right. Pumped up. Good. Any word on nonprofits starting up? Yeah, they did give us a little bit of understanding on the so no free play. No, I didn't say that, Lee. No. Yeah, there's free play. It's free play all over the place. You can play the game for free all you want to. All right. So let me go back to, and I'll address that for you, Lee. But here's the deal. Any word on the nonprofit program? Yes, it's coming back. We should hear something. They do have a very structured way that they are going to give it back to us, and it is going to be very disciplined, where you and I will have to register our intent to go and contact a nonprofit organization, and then have a certain amount of time to be able to do that and follow up with that. And for the most part, there's going to be, now that may not be crazily important to the corner church, okay, or to the little league club that you care about. I get it. They may not be attacked by 30 affiliates in the area. That probably is going to be pretty easy, but I think you will find some pretty big thresholds on the larger nonprofit organizations, because we heard some horror stories that we have worn out our welcome at some of the largest, some pretty large nonprofit organizations that really causes a black eye for all of us. I mean, to get called by 30 different affiliates. I mean, you sort of on one side say congratulations, great job, because you're an independent contractor, you're a go-getter. On the other side, it is a challenge for all of us as partners in this to be able to say, hey, we really need to put a little bit of guardrails around that so that we don't tick off some people in areas that we don't want to tick them off in. I mean, that just sort of makes sense. So, but in the next, probably in the next week, you'll start to see that come back. There'll be some rules around it, some regulations around it. and then it'll give us some great opportunities with that. So, but let me address Lee's question here. Let me go up for a second, because I really don't want to leave you with that thought. Listen, there is absolutely free play. The free plays you can go through prior to the game. The game is totally free to get, totally free to play on the pregame basis. If you want to play the live event, though, okay, it will cost you tokens. Now, the live portion of the game is set at 12 tokens. We're going to provide those 12 tokens at sign up. Okay, so somebody that comes and just uses a code is going to get 12 tokens, so they can go play a live game, right? And we want them to. And we want to get them used to it, because I believe once they play the live game, they're going to be like, how can I get some more of those tokens? I want to play another live game. I'm going to play another live game, and so forth. I mean, I see it happening all over the place. So, but they don't have to. And one of the things is they don't have to go buy tokens. They can earn them. They can go to an advertising location in the app. They can click on, see what's going on, and then be able to participate in the certain advertisements that, in fact, the companies offer throughout the app. And it will be different levels of commitment and different levels of ideas on how it is the advertising is shared. I won't go through all that. I'll let Natalie go ahead and do that for us. But it is really cool, very well set up. And you guys, many of you know me. That is the area that attracted me instantly. That was the place I knew most about. That was the reason why I understood the size and the gravity of what it is they were going to try to do with this app, because the advertising mechanism that these things provide, if you can get a collective group of eyeballs that have an interest and an attention span that is of any size whatsoever, this is where the money flows today. We see it. You know, we talk about it going from 45 billion to 200 billion. It is, the mobile marketing place is, in fact, the place of the future. And so we want to participate in that. And we're going to play with all the big boys, all of them. It's going to be just so cool. There's going to be so many elements, so scalable, expandable. Geo-tracking will allow you to get certain offers that they know where you live. Why? Because you're on your phone and you're mobile tracked, and they know exactly right. So if I find a pizza offer, it might come from the pizza place 2 minutes from my house. And if I buy pizza from them today, they may give me some tokens. Get it? We've talked about that forever. That's exactly what's coming on a bigger scale than any of us could possibly imagine. And that is obvious to me. So anyway, man, I have been going at this for an hour all by myself and not had anybody to talk to. And I don't know if anybody's watching anymore. Oh yeah, there's a few. There's a few. So all right, let's do this. Okay. So easy to sign up, people. Zoe says, yeah, I agree, dude. Can this only be downloaded on cell phones, or can it be downloaded to tablets, computers? Tablets, definitely. And again, get this. We will have a laptop version. There is a laptop version of the game. I don't believe it will be provided right away, but it has been told to us that there is going to be that component of it, which is going to be a lot of fun and really cool. Just not right away. So it's shortly thereafter, I guess. And so we'll hear more about that. But I was excited about that because I wasn't sure exactly how that played out. If I heard that right, and I believe I did, that there is going to be a laptop or a desktop version of the game come shortly thereafter. It's really going to be pretty cool. Okay, so 1 minute left. So your phone, get the code. Hi, Cheryl. Happy to see you. Thanks, Zoe. Glad you called me. I'm here. Awesome. Okay, good. All right, here's we go. We are done. I'm going off the air. Thank you so much. I tried to keep this right at about an hour. I didn't want to go too much longer than that. So thank you very much, you guys. We'll talk to you real soon. The game's coming. Let's go out and get some players. Listen, players. That's what it's all about. There's some great ideas out there. Get this thing downloaded on your phone. Look at Better Than a Business Card. It will help you be able to have it on the front of your phone and just get players. Get them going. Get set up. Just get fired up. Contact the people that you've got involved in this. See if they'll come and watch this for a little bit or whatever, or share your excitement with them. Try not to have them give the painting away. It's an original, okay? It's a big one, and it's really valuable. So I look forward to talking with you again real soon. Thanks a lot, you guys. I appreciate you, and I think that's it. All right, game on. Talk to you later, everybody. Bye.